Arizona, homeowner's best friend.
You have a talking point here in Under Epic Moments about soil. Tell me about that.
I mean, the soil is the lifeblood of the garden. I feel like the way that you nurture the soil really brings life to everything that you grow. And, nourishment to the food and the people who consume the food. Students love worms. That is how we really get them first, like composting and worms. They love working with the soil, and they understand. It's interesting because you learn in science about what happens underground, and it just doesn't connect. And if you can get students out in a garden space and they're learning about microbial activity under the ground, they understand their ecosystem. They understand, decomposers, and it's very challenging for them to understand that when you're reading it in a book. It just doesn't make sense because a lot of it you can't see. And so they do these investigations and they understand, they really understand what health of the soil is meant to be. And otherwise it's so disconnected, and it doesn't really bring anything to them. There's no life in that for them. They just don't, it's not exciting. But when you get them out in a garden with worms and understanding what to look for, they do investigations and composting. It brings learning to life.
When I used to do tours at the urban farm for young people, that was their favorite part of the tour. When I got to the worm bin, I used to have an old, huge bathtub that I did my worm composting in. And the kids would just love it. That we'd spend 20 minutes talking about worms.
We love it. I walked on campus, I guess it was at the end of last week, and I saw probably 15 worm bins across. They were rehoming their worms, which was pretty amazing. They care for their worms, and they even they rehome them. They make a compost tea, and then they put all of the nutrients back into the soil and in their garden, and they create new homes for the worms to do their work.
Nice.
I love it.
Rosie on the house, every Arizona homeowner's best friend.